What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here with Alita Battle Angel opening this week. Since the film also features Jennifer Connelly, who's been around since the 80s, and I'm glad she still does more stuff because Jennifer Connelly is just awesome. I mean, she's an Oscar winning actress. She's been in countless really good films over the years. So I decided to do my top 10 favorite Jennifer Connelly movies. So, that being said, here's my list. Coming in at number 10 is Virginia. Now, in this, Jennifer Connelly plays a single mother who has an affair with a married sheriff played by Ed Harris. This is a really good love film. Jennifer Connelly, to be honest, her character is not really that likable. Like, she's a real drunk, she's a drug addict and all. But she plays that role just really well. Besides Jennifer Connelly, it also has the aforementioned Ed Harris. Emma Roberts was in this. You even had Toby Jones, Carrie Preston, Lucas Grable was in this. Garrett Clayton. Pretty good supporting cast surrounding her. And this is definitely probably one of Jennifer Connelly's most, better modern performances because she plays the role really well. Even though her character's not that likable and you don't really root for her a whole lot, she still plays the role really well. If you guys haven't seen Virginia, definitely give this one a go. It's not really that popular, to be honest. Yeah, I believe it has like an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's actually much better than the critics make it out to be. It's not great, nothing like that, but it wasn't bad either. All right, coming in at number 9 is an 80s film called Career Opportunities. Now, in it, it's about like a night shift named Jim, played by Frank Welly, who is accidentally locked up alone in the store that he cleans. So he realizes that he has access to the entire building and decides to indulge in the abundance of like free food and merchandises, and which is at his fingerprints. And so like surprisingly, he bumps into like a local rich girl played by Colin, who is also imprisoned in the store for the night, and they also like quickly bond, and there's like romance that sparks, and they are also like interrupted by a group of robbers. This is a really good little film. Jennifer Connelly and Frank Welly, they were both pretty decent in this. This is definitely like one of her earliest work because she, pretty much started out as like a teen in the 80s, and Jennifer Connelly was really good in this film. It was also scripted by pretty much one of the best, teen directors ever, John Hughes. And it was directed by Brian Gordon. You also had Dermot Mulroney, Barry Corbett was in this. Some pretty good supporting players as well. Oh, and I screwed up. This movie did not get released in the 80s. It got released in 1991. For some reason, I thought it was like the 80s. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, to be honest with you, but I remember really enjoying it when I first saw it. It's a pretty decent little film. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely give it a go. All right, coming in at number 8, it might be a little bit of a unpopular opinion, and that will be Hulk, which is, of course, the 2003 one, directed by Ang Lee, starring Eric Bana as Hulk. You also had Sam Elliott. Nick Nolte was in this. I really liked Eric Bana as the Hulk. I thought he played that role really well. Not as good as, let's say, Lou Ferrigno or Ed Norton or even Mark Ruffalo, but Eric Bana was still pretty decent as that role. And Jennifer Connelly, of course, played pretty much the love interest, Betty Ross, who, of course, was replaced by Liv Tyler in the Ed Norton version. And Sam Elliott as General Ross. I mean, too bad they never got Sam Elliott back as a role for the MCU, because of course General Ross was ended up being played by William Hurt in the next few MCU films. But I thought that Sam Elliott was awesome as General Ross, and too bad we never got to see him as that role again. But anyway, Jennifer Connelly as Betty Ross was a pretty decent casting. I mean, I'm still trying to know if I prefer either her or Liv Tyler. I'm probably gonna go with Jennifer Connelly's Betty Ross a little more. I mean, she really played that role really well, and Ang Lee did a pretty good job at directing. I mean, Hulk isn't like the best Marvel film, nothing like that, but it's still not that bad. I mean, I know there's lots of people who trash on this film, but it's actually pretty decent. I mean, of course, it was ahead of its time. Now comic book movies are even like bigger than they ever was, So, all right, coming in at number 7. Now, this is an '80s movie, and that is 7 Minutes in Heaven. Now, this is actually Jennifer Connelly's first major feature film. And, in it, Jennifer Connelly plays a girl named Natalie who allows her classmate Jeff, played by Brian Tamas, who ran away from home after a fight with his stepfather, played by Marsha Bell, and to stay at her place while her father, played by Michael Zaslaw, is away on business trip. She soon starts dating Jeff's friend James Casey, played by Alan Boyce, and who is of course not as faithful as she thinks. While her best friend Polly, played by Maddie Corman, falls in love with a baseball player played by Billy Wirth, and then there's like relationships that brings tension to the table. I mean, this is an interesting little coming of age film. It's not like the best coming of age movie of the '80s. Of course, there's Breakfast Club. You know what? This movie doesn't really get talked about a whole lot. Like, in the '80s, there was like lots of really good teen movies like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller. No one barely talks about 7 Minutes in Heaven. I mean, it's not like the best one out of the bunch, but it's actually not that bad. And of course, it pretty much was the movie that gave us Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly was really good in this, and the other cast members was good. I mean, if you guys never seen 7 Minutes of Heaven yet, definitely give this one a shot. All right. Coming in at number 6 is The Hot Spot. Now, this is actually a really hot film, by the way. In it, it stars Don Johnson as a drifter named Harry Maddox, who settles into like a small Texas town and takes a job at a used car dealership. And so he, has like an affair with a salty wife of the dealership's owner, played by now the wife he ends up having an affair with is played by Virginia Madsen, and he also has a affair with a pre-accountant as well, played by Jennifer Connelly, and they all plot to rob the a local bank. And so Don Johnson's Harry character is arrested for the robbery. So Dolly, played by Madsen, provides him with an alibi, and so he like plans on leaving town with Glory, while Dolly is like very upset. Like, this is a really suspenseful thriller. I mean, it got released in the early '90s, I think '91 or '90 or around that era. Don Johnson, I mean, the guy is awesome. Who doesn't love Don Johnson? He was really good in this. Virginia Madsen and Jennifer Connelly was good. I mean, this is actually the movie that kind of made me crush on Virginia Madsen a little bit. Like, that woman's really gorgeous. And Jennifer Connelly was really gorgeous in this as well. This is a really hot little film, by the way. I mean, the hell with 50 Shades. I mean, it's a shame we don't get rock movies like this or 9.5 Weeks anymore. I mean, Hot Spot was really awesome, man. I mean, if you guys never seen Hot Spot by now, definitely check it out. All right, coming in at number 5 is Higher Learner. Now, this is directed by John Singleton, who, of course, gave us Boys in the Hood and loads of other stuff. And, it's like a powerful portrait of college life in the '90s, and it's about like a group of incoming freshmen at Columbus University, and they all include a athlete named Malik Williams, played by Omar Epps, a awkward outcast named Remy, played by Michael Rappaport. There's also the wide-eyed Kristen Connor, played by Chrissy Swanson. You also have Jennifer Connelly in this, Ice Cube, some really good cast members. This was a really good film. I mean, it's definitely a really good college-based film. I mean, Michael Rappaport was awesome. Ice Cube was really great. I mean, if you guys never seen Higher Learning, it's a really interesting film. And John Singleton is a really good director. I mean, too bad he doesn't really do a whole lot anymore. Like, I think the last movie he directed was that Taylor Lautner movie back in 2011. 2011. Shame he doesn't really do a whole lot anymore because he's an awesome director. All right, coming in at number 4 is The Rocketeer. Now, this of course stars Billy Campbell as a Cliff Scottard, who's like a cocky stunt pilot in love with a beautiful actress named Jenny Blake, played by Jennifer Connelly. And so he discovers a jetpack hidden in a biplane, and so he straps on the rocket and dons a flashy helmet and becomes a high flying hero known as a Rocketeer. And there's like Nazis in this. Former James Bond Timothy Dalton, plays the villain. Rocketeer is a classic. I mean, it was directed by Joe Johnston, who of course went on to direct Captain America, the First Avenger. He also did Jurassic Park 3, Wolfman. He also was one of the positive directors of that terrible Nutcracker film. The Rocketeer is really good. I mean, it's loads of fun. It has lots of cool action in it. I mean, I think this movie needs to get rebooted today. I mean, with the effects we have today, I think you can make a Rocketeer remake look realistic. I mean, if you guys never had a chance to check out The Rocketeer, it's another really good Jennifer Connelly movie worth checking out. Coming in at number 3 is A Beautiful Mind. Now, this is, of course, the film that won Jennifer Connelly her first Oscar. And, of course, it's inspired by it's pretty much inspired by true events of the life of John Forbes Nash Jr. And of course, he's like a really genius, mathematical genius, I should say. And of course, it starred Russell Crowe as John Nash. It was directed by Ron Howard, who's always the best. The aforementioned Ed Harris was in this. Like I said, Jennifer Connelly won her Oscar for A Beautiful Mind. It's a really fantastic movie. It's very inspirational. It has good performances. I mean, it really went on in depth of who John Nash was, and definitely Jennifer Connelly was really deserving of her Oscar because she was terrific in this. I'm trying to think if Russell Crowe won his Oscar for this. Oh no, he won for Gladiator. He didn't win. Never mind. For some reason I thought he won for this as well. Anyway, but if you guys never seen A Beautiful Mind, it's a early 2000s classic. Now it's really good. I mean, this is a movie I've seen in school countless of times. All right, coming in at number 2 is Requiem for a Dream. Now this was directed by Darren Aronofsky, and it's really interesting. I mean, it has a really good cast. Like, you have Marlon Wayans, Jared Leto, Ellen Burstyn. And in it, Ellen Burstyn, plays a retired widow who lives in like a small apartment town. And so she spends most of her time, watching TV. And she, of course, has like delusions of raising her current daughter extents by being a guest on this show that she's watching. And her son named Harry, played by Jared Leto, is like a junkie, but of course, along with his friends, Tyrone, played by Marlon Wayans, has visions of making it big and by becoming a drug dealer. And so Harry's girlfriend, played by Jennifer Connelly, is pretty much a fashion designer or artist. but is like swept along of Drake's drug-centered world. And so, Sarah, of course, develops an addiction of her own. I mean, this movie is really nuts. It's a little confusing at times, but it's really good. I mean, it has really good dialogue in it. Jared Leto was terrific. I mean, anyone who says Jared Leto can act, they clearly only just saw Suicide Squad and did not see, Requiem for a Dream or anything else. He was terrific in this. And Jennifer Connelly was amazing. I believe Ella Burstyn scored an Oscar nomination for this. I think Requiem for a Dream scored a Best Picture nomination too. I gotta check that. And it's probably Darren Aronofsky's best work. I mean, he did a really good job with this. I mean, the direction is amazing. I mean, if you guys never seen Requiem for a Dream, definitely give this one a go. I mean, I believe next year this movie turns 20, so yeah. Anyway. Alright, now my number one favorite Jennifer Connelly movie goes to Labyrinth. Now, this is a classic. I mean, directed by the great Frank Oz, aka Yoda, and aka Miss Piggy. Is, of course, from the Henson Company. I think Frank Oz directed this. I think it's either Frank Oz or Jim Henson. Should have checked this out before I went live. Oh no, it was directed by Jim Henson. Why did I thought that Frank Oz directed this? Anyway, to be honest, I haven't seen this movie for a while either, but yeah, it was directed by Jim Henson, who of course gave us the Muppets and all. Of course, you have the late great David Bowie at the Goblin King. Jennifer Connelly. It was definitely one of her earliest work. I mean, who does Labyrinth is a classic. The effect in this thing was pretty cool. I mean, Jim Henson did a good job at directing this. I mean, definitely the puppets in this. I mean, the guy gave us, Kermit the Frog, Sesame Street, and all that. So, of course, he's no stranger when it comes to puppets. I mean, I've been hearing, there's, been some rumblings about, a sequel or a remake of Labyrinth. I mean, who knows if it'll be as good as the original. That has to be what I say. But Labyrinth, the original, is a classic. I mean, if you guys never seen it, definitely give it a go. And I gotta rewatch this again. It's been countless of times since I've seen this film. It's been a while, really. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Virginia. 9, Career Opportunities. 8, Hulk. 7 Minutes is Heaven. 6, The Hot Spot. 5, Higher Learner. 4, The Rocketeer. 3, A Beautiful Mind. 2, Requiem for a Dream. 1, Labyrinth. Now, there's loads of other Jennifer Connelly movies out there as well. Let me pull up her credit list. She has a decent resume. She was in Blood Diamond with Leo DiCaprio. Lots of people love that movie, but it wasn't really one that stuck with me. Once Upon a Time in America is pretty good. Let's see. He's Just Not That, and she wasn't on half bad. She had a little voice cameo in Spider-Man Homecoming. She played the voice in Peter Parker's suit. She was in Only the Brave. Speaking of Darren Aronofsky, she was pretty good in Noah. Movie wasn't all that great, but she was decent in it. The Day the Earth Stood Still wasn't a great film, but she was decent in it. Dark City was alright. Mulholland Falls was okay. Event in the Abyss with Joaquin Phoenix was good. She was good in that movie Shelter, which was directed by her husband, Paul Bettany. American Pastro with Ewan McGregor was decent. Winter Tale was not decent. Dark Water stunk. Little Children was pretty decent. Let's see. Reservation Road wasn't all that great. The Dilemma with Kevin James and Vince Vaughn was actually decent. She was in that movie 9. Inkheart was definitely not that good. She was in that movie Pollock. Man, she's been in loads of stuff over the years. Anyway, let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Jennifer Connelly movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.